course of the program, we'll explore specific options and solutions to these problems.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mallam, your take.
Yeah, the word I use is resurgence. I totally agree with you. It never went away. It's resurgent. And to add to what Mr. Ahiri said, it's a function of an overarching strategy, not of the state, but of the terrorists and insurgents. It's a classic playbook strategy of guerrilla warfare. It's a classic playbook strategy of fundamental Islamist jihadist playbook. So I'm surprised that whether it is the authorities or Nigerians are seeing it from that perspective of it has gone away. And if you say that, then I worry about our national security strategy, because every country or every society that is serious has always left a module within the overarching strategy of continuous sensing strategy of countermanding the recurrence or the resurgence or whatever it is that is a threat. America had to develop the homeland security, for example, and expand that scope, and have even espionage and counter-espionage. It never goes away. But I would like to expand also on what Mr. Ahiri said with the issue of when we look at the dimensional, by the way, it's multidimensional. If we see it from a linear prism, also will not solve the problem. Because over time, Islamic fundamentalism being the key motivation for terrorism, whether it is in the Middle East, whether in the 9/11, whether it is how it has expanded and became a global enterprise, as the case is an enterprise, has become commoditized and commercialized. So indeed, as a Muslim, I know the fundamentality has long been thrown away and has become a facade for a global enterprise. And that is why we have seen the evidence of critical stake actors of the superpowers coming to say they have actually been supporting Islamic jihadists as a smokescreen for plundering resources of many countries. And unless we dimension this multidimensionally, while we address this very important issue Mr. Ahiri said about the jihadists, because we remain what I call a nascent Islamic, entity in terms of Sahel, in terms of northern Nigeria. There's a lot of cultural input in it, and there's a lot of misconception about Islam itself. But suffice it to say, the commercial aspect of it has actually overtaken it, and that is why the deep state aspect of it, some of us are afraid to talk about it, while some of us throw it aside. But the critical fuel of whether it is jihadism or whether it is whatever is actually resources. And to that extent, that is why you marvel to see the kind of humongous amount of resources this guy gets in the hinterland, in terms of the satellite phones, in terms of the technology, in terms of the armaments, in terms of logistics, that are even beyond the capacity of countries like Nigeria to manage. So talking about that to land, I agree also, approaching an asymmetric warfare, whether it is Islamic fundamentalism or, for commercial purpose, with this approach, when you don't have the resources. And that is why in my column for Friday on The Nation, I said, the back page, I said, it is no longer an asymmetric warfare. If we see it like that, it has tilted to terrorists because they have more resources, they are covering more grounds, they have a better strategy, while we have less than 300 boots on the ground armed forces to cater for over 200 million people, and we think it is okay. You understand? Without the capacity to even buy one equipment, that this guy can buy 3 when you don't know where the money comes from, is no longer asymmetric warfare on our side, because we are now on low ground, while this multidimensional octopus has become on the high ground. You see these guys even collaborating. The way you have M&E in private sector, mergers and acquisitions. You have ISWAP, you have Boko Haram, you have whatever, and then you have the Lakurawas, and then the mineral exploiters doing collaborations where it suits them to continue to plunder resources. So I dare say, whether it is jihadist fundamentalism, whether it is the herders, settlers issue of the Fulani and the herders, whether it is the issue of other people that are not even having any name. It's about our resources, because as it is today, the entire Sahel belt is sitting on humongous amount of resources. Okay. And it will interest you to see that is what is happening in DRC, that's what is happening in Sudan, that's what is happening in South Sudan. But bringing it to Nigeria, unless we realign we see it from a prism, right, rather than from a linear lens, we'll still have this problem.
Okay, very, very interesting openings by both of you. Now,